To know the root of creation of Taliban, we have to refer to the Soviet-Afghan War between 1979 to February 1989. The war made the US administration stop Soviet influence in Asia Central, and they did so.
We also have a history of kind of moving in and out of Pakistan. I mean, let's remember here, the people we are fighting today, we funded 20 years ago. And we did it because we were locked in this struggle with the Soviet Union. They invaded Afghanistan, and we did not want to see them control Central Asia. And we went to work, and it was President Reagan in partnership with the Congress, led by Democrats, who said, you know what, sounds like a pretty good idea. Let's deal with the ISI and the Pakistani military, and let's go recruit these mujahideen, and let's get some to come from Saudi Arabia and other places, importing their Wahhabi brand of Islam so that we can go beat the Soviet Union.
Once the war was over, the Taliban emerged in 1994 to one of the prominent factions. It was largely comprised of students called Talib from the Pashtun areas of eastern and southern Afghanistan who had been educated in traditional Islamic schools and fought during the Soviet-Afghan War. Between 1996 and 2001, the Taliban controlled some 90% of Afghanistan. They established many strict rules, mainly to limit women in society. For instance, only boys could go to school and only to religious ones. They opposed any foreign intervention and turned their back to their main sponsors, more clearly to the United States of America. And then happened this. Twin Towers in New York were attacked. Just weeks after 9/11, the US invaded Afghanistan, where Al-Qaeda planned the attack.
On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against Al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan.
US forces targeted Al-Qaeda bases and Osama bin Laden, supported and harbored by Taliban, who controlled the government at that time. US successfully crippled the Taliban and gained back control of major cities from Taliban, including Kabul and Kandahar, and that's how the war started. But in 2003, the focus shifted to US invasion of Iraq. Most of the funding and military was determined in Iraq, and Afghanistan became a second priority. Taliban saw it as a golden opportunity, and they didn't fail to seize it. Eventually, they started gaining control of their lost territories. However, United States managed to find and kill Osama bin Laden.
The death of bin Laden marks the most significant achievement to date in our nation's effort to defeat Al-Qaeda.
But they failed in Afghanistan in rebuilding it. President Donald Trump recently confirmed they will not indulge in more action with Taliban and find a solution to end the conflict.
My administration is holding constructive talks with a number of Afghan groups, including the Taliban. As we make progress in these negotiations, we will be able to reduce our troops' presence and focus on counter-terrorism, and we will indeed focus on counter-terrorism.
17 years of war, the longest in the US history, has not yet been concluded. However, the peace talks between US and Taliban are underway.